Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing something a little different. As you guys have seen recently, I've gotten a little bit more into Z-scale, and as such I picked up a more unique Z-scale locomotive. That being, and forgive me if I say any of this wrong, one of the Busch Deutsch Garten Feldbahn locomotives. Basically a miniature gauged diesel. There are several examples of these in real life, and I'm going to be using some, since instead of reviewing this thing, we're actually going to be weathering it. And I'm going to be doing my best to make it look a little bit more realistic. While I do like the gray and red livery that this thing already has, you guys know me, I'm a sucker for detail, and I'm really thinking this will be a fun and interesting project, since I've never really tackled something so small. The engine itself comes in this beautiful plastic case, which opens pretty easily as you can see here. And here's a closer look at the engine. At first this was going to be an AU version of Frank or potentially a Blister from the Arlesdale Railway, but after a poll on Twitter it was decided that this would be better a normal locomotive. And honestly I kinda like that idea myself, so that's what we'll be doing with this guy. These locomotives also come with a few extra details. For example, extra side bits for the chassis, and an extra coupler should you want to change the one on the front out. Unfortunately, at the moment I don't have any rolling stock in this scale, so it's not very necessary. So personally, I'll be leaving it be. And to weather this guy, we'll be using several different things. First things first, we have the Tamiya panel accent, specifically in brown, and this is going to be used to bring out the smaller details on the locomotive. This isn't really paint, it's more of a stain, I would say, and really tends to come in handy when you're working with smaller details. Next up, we have one of my essentials, that being the Monroe Models mini kit, which comes with 4 different weathering powders, but I think I'll only be using the rust for this video. Of course, paintbrushes for those powders, my Mr. Hobby matte spray, which is going to be used to seal in all that weathering, and of course my Star Powders black, which is basically on every model you've ever seen me work on. Oh, and a pack of people, but that's for later. Now, before I start laying the powder, I actually went ahead and gave him a top coat of the matte clear. As I'm sure you can see, it didn't really do much to the model itself, and that wasn't really the point. This just serves as an outer layer to make sure the powders that I lay on later will actually stick. And if you're planning to do something similar, I highly recommend you do that as well. A first top coat can really help those powders once they go on. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the panel lining accent, and specifically go around the smaller details on the locomotive itself. For example, the tiny bits on the chassis, around the main body, anywhere that there's a crease or a protrusion on the body itself, I'm going to add this, as you guys will see here. And here's a look at him after that. As you can see, the brown is pretty boring by itself, but has really helped to bring out the smaller details this engine had. This is a step you'll see me repeat several times, but hopefully this shows you why I do it. Next, we're going to finally start with those powders, and again, the only one I'm really going to use out of this kit is the rust one again, so that's what you'll see me prepare. Really, the plan at this point is just to put it anywhere I think it would look necessary. as well as to go over any parts that I've already done, and really exemplify the fact that this engine is rusty and very used. And now we can see him once that part's been complete. And now I think this thing's starting to take shape. There's definitely a lot more that has to be done, but I'm kind of starting to see the end goal at this point. The exhaust areas are very dirty, the front end itself is very dirty. Yeah, this engine itself is just a filthy one. But that's the goal, so thankfully we're doing good. And now I go back with a little bit more panel accent, since I don't want to overdo what I just did or overshadow it. This is kind of to exemplify what already was done. And now we start with the black powder. Now this is going to be a lot faster since I'm not planning to use much black powder at all. This will only be on the front, different exhaust areas, and the chassis, and maybe different smaller areas to discolor the gray. So you'll see me apply this pretty quickly. And here's a look at the engine once the black's been applied. Now all he needs is a top coat to seal all of that in. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe a little bit more of the panel accent, since again, a lot of the powders that I've laid have kind of taken that away. So let's go ahead and add a bit more of that, as well as maybe a bit more powder. We're just kind of going for it, as you'll soon see. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. We have a very dirty, very used, grimy, narrow gauge diesel, or miniature gauge diesel, I should say. I don't really know a lot about these in real life, so if anybody has more information, that would be super helpful in the comments. But altogether, this project has come together quite well, and a lot better than I was expecting. Thankfully, the powders have stuck very well. The panel accent, now that I've added it about 100 times, has started to show through, and he also has his figure added, so this locomotive is close to finished. The only thing he's missing is I would like to give him nameplates, since somebody on Twitter asked what I would like to name him, and the only thing I could really think of was Handsome, which kinda serves as an ironic name since he's so dirty, but that's kinda why I like it. In my mind, he's just a personal engine of one of the controllers, a personal miniature engine, and altogether this has been a project I've really enjoyed doing. If you guys enjoyed watching this video and seeing how I did it, be sure to like and subscribe for even more train content. There's always more stuff on the way. And as always, guys, thanks again for watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, and before I go, yes, he works. Let's go ahead and see him in action. Also, Sodoroy Modeler called him a shrimp, and I'm a huge Smiling Friends fan, so maybe his name is now Shrimp. It just works. It just works.
Yes, I called It Is I Shrimp. That is my name. I do hope that Shrimpina likes my cool new attire. I am too scared of confrontation.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.